YouTube, what's going on with you guys, man? Welcome back with another video, another piece of content. Make sure y'all like the video for the algorithm, and let me know what y'all want me to talk about next. Comment down below what that topic is. But the topic of discussion that I want to talk about is accountability. Now, accountability, what I notice with people is that, especially like online and social media, is that accountability is a lot of people's kryptonite, all right, including women. But I'm just talking about us as human beings, men and women. We have a problem with accountability. We have a problem with holding ourselves accountable for our choices, right, and the consequences of those choices that we make, right, and how our choices affect others, how we behave that affects other people, right, our actions. So we have to learn as people to, take ownership of what we do. We have to own up to our own faults, own up to our own mistakes, own up for our own wrongdoings, right? Because that's how you grow as a person. As a character, that's how you develop. This applies to man and woman, okay? A lot of us don't like to be accountable for anything that we do, okay? If it's our fault and we don't own up to our faults, I feel like that is a narcissistic trait. Now, I'm not no medical physician, not no doctor. I can't tell and do a whole bunch of tests and evaluations on somebody to know if they're a narcissist, right? But when somebody does not take accountability, right? I want y'all to think about this, because someone may have done you dirty in the past, a family member, an ex, a friend, and you know what they did wrong and they know what they did wrong, but you're trying to hold them accountable, right? And they're just not owning up to their faults. They're not owning up to their wrongdoing. They refuse to be accountable for anything. Instead, what they do is they play victim. That's right, they play victim. And you've probably been in a situation like that where you're getting frustrated with this person because they don't want to own up. They feel as though they're above reproach. They may feel as though they're above rebuke, right? No man, no woman is above reproach, okay? Read your Bible. No one is above reproach. All of us going to get rebuked. All of us got to get reproached. We got to face reproach, okay? Lord knows that for me this year in 2024, I have held myself accountable for my sins, for my past addictions, for my faults, the way I behaved in the past, right? I've had behavioral problems in the past. And now this year, I have confessed so much to the Lord behind this camera and told the Lord I'm at fault. The reason why this friendship didn't work out was because it was my fault. The reason why we lose touch with people, and the reason why we fall out with certain people is because it's our fault. But, because we're so prideful, some people are prideful, some people are arrogant and are stuck in their ways. So they avoid accountability. We avoid accountability for why that friendship and that relationship did not work out, okay? And we need to do better in terms of owning up to what you did, owning up what you said to that person, because apologizing is just not enough. Sorry is just a word. I believe that sorry is an action word. Sorry means that you have changed your behavior. Okay? It's changed behavior. Meaning you will not behave in that manner to that person ever again. You will not repeat the same pattern of behaviors ever again, the same actions that landed you in hot water with that person to begin with. Right? So I'm holding myself accountable for what I've done in the past. Okay? And any mistakes that I make going forward. Accountability. You know? Because the Lord is watching. And when we confess and we are accountable, and we own up to our own faults, we grow as a person. Okay? We begin to see things a little bit differently. And what we're doing is we're letting go of our pride. We're letting go of arrogance. We're letting go of, our ego. See, man, you got to learn how to stop being stubborn. Okay? And own up to what you've done in the past. Own up to the reason why you were the reason why that friendship did not go well. Right? You're the reason why that relationship did not work out. You're the reason why certain opportunities are not happening. It's that you could be the common denominator for why things are just not going your way and why certain people are falling out with you. You can't always blame people. You can't pin the blame. Because what did I talk to y'all about when it came to these false chosen ones and their lack of accountability? Because they always like to think that everybody's out to get them. They always like to think that all their friendships were negative, toxic because of the other person. The same thing with their relationships and family. They blame other family members why, relationships did not work out between them. Right? They blame friends for certain things. But they never evaluate what they did wrong. They never take the time to analyze their behavior. You know what I mean? And they just don't own up to anything. These false chosen ones, they'll come on YouTube and they'll play victim. They'll play victim on their audience. And they condition you to play victim too. They're conditioning you to not be accountable, to not take ownership of your own faults. They like to think that it's everybody else's fault. They like to think that, everybody is an evil, negative demon in their life. But it's like, have they even looked at themselves in a mirror and was like, wait a minute, I must be a demon too? Like, don't they ever think that about themselves? Like, do they take the time to realize, wait a minute, I could be the problem here. I could be the common denominator that why things are just not going well with me and people. So it's really an inner work thing. Looking at yourself internally and evaluating yourself, right? Doing that work. But man, I'm telling you, accountability is a lot of people's worst enemy. It's their kryptonite. Because the problem with people is that everybody is so focused and so just hell bent on being right all the time, right? That they overlook, they overlook the importance of being wrong. Okay? Sometimes in life you have to be wrong in order to be right. Sometimes in life you have to recognize your faults in order to fix them. Because if you're someone that just thinks you ain't got no flaws, you're puffed up, you're high-minded, you got a big head, you think you have everything figured out, you're perfect, and you don't have any flaws to fix, you're tripping. That's how you moving? You think you don't think you have anything to really fix about yourself? Because if you really think that, then somebody else is going to come in your life and check you and let you know about yourself. That's why it's important to check yourself. Stop being so concerned with being right all the time. Okay? The need to be right has to stop. It has to stop. You're not always right. Okay? When I look at my life, I'm not always right. I can humble myself to take accountability, right? And see, I want to say this one last thing, then I'm going to get off here. When you lack accountability and you refuse to hold yourself accountable, you're opening the door for victimhood. Okay? It leads to you playing victim. And you don't want to get into that cycle. You don't want to end up being a victim. Because when you're a victim, you don't take responsibility for anything that happens in your life, for why things go wrong, why things didn't work out. Because you're not responsible for yourself. And you think you're a victim. You think everybody is trying to ruin your life. You think everybody's out to get you. Everybody is actively trying to sabotage you. Maybe you are sabotaging yourself. Okay? When you lack accountability, you sabotage yourself in that way. You know what I mean? So this is just a message that I wanted to get off my chest. And I felt that I had to talk about this, right? Accountability is so important. It's a very valuable character trait. And I suggest that you develop that character trait every single day. So that being said, more videos are to come. Thank you all for watching. I'm out, and peace.